go ahead and start.
Things any better a day later for you guys?
I don't think it's ever as bad as it appears. When you go back and you look at the actual tape and stuff, I mean, it's tough because, obviously, second time in a week we've been up, 19, 20 points and lost the game. So, but I think as we go back and look at it, the one thing that was apparent is that we created good shots and didn't make them. And then they took tough shots and made them. Some of the threes that that Julius made were really tough shots, and you're talking about a guy that's shooting 30%. So, it's like one of those nights that he had. But we still got to do better from the standpoint of executing. I think, especially when the game get close and they made some shots and we missed some shots, we definitely have to come down and make sure we have a great possessions. And a couple of times I thought we took some quick shots that was a little bit questionable, and they went back down and scored, and I think that's how they got separation. I think if you go back and look at the game, with 9:44 to go in the fourth quarter, it was a 2-point game, and with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, it's a 15-point game. So obviously that's where the separation happened.
Justin was talking to us about just how quickly you guys have to try to come together, and how if you guys would have been together the whole season, he thinks that you guys would actually be really good at this time. But how hard has that aspect been?
Oh, it's been really hard, especially I think you add 3 players that are pretty prominent in your rotations and stuff, and 2 of them starting for you and stuff. It's just, it's what it is, and I hate that phrase, by the way, it is what it is. But, I think what you have to try to do is that you have to try to put them together very quickly, and you got to try to simplify some things. But, you also want to do some things that you see that's, that could be very beneficial offensively for you. But it's just tough to get it all in. You just never have the practice time, really. And then, there's days where you just got to give, guys are playing major minutes. You can't come out here and then take their legs away by practicing, an hour and a half or 2 hours to try to get something done. So, it's kind of a catch-22, but I do believe that if this team would have been together at training camp, things would be much different.
From that standpoint, does it make it less surprising that the record is what it is amongst them from this period?
Well, I'm still disappointed in the record because I think we've just had opportunities that we just didn't close games, and and that comes down to either a defensive stop or completing an offensive play or making a free throw or things like that. And I think you can do that without having all the chemistry together like it would be if it was a training camp.
The blown leads are obviously frustrating, but how do you try and focus on the positive, the fact that you're able to get these big leads in these games?
And that's what we talked about today, that we're a good enough team that we can be up 19 and we can be up 20. And so our whole thing is where do we go from there? How do we maintain those leads? How do we not give them away? Over, like I said, from 9:44 to 5:20. It's a 2-point game, and all of a sudden it's a 15-point game. So we've got to do a better job of being selective in that possession down the court where it could stop it, or where we can score a basket and just stop the bleeding, basically. I think we've got to do a better job with that.
Trevor, do you feel like you have a good feel of how you want to deal with the rotations with this new group of guys at this point?
I think we got a general idea. We always trying to search and see, and we tried to play Josh a couple of minutes with, quality minutes, I guess. We wanted to see, what he does, and I thought he was, he was pretty good. I just think where you have to be careful is that 10-man rotations are tough to do in this league. I think you got to look at eight guys, maybe 9 that you can play, and there's going to be guys that probably deserve to play some that's not going to play. It's just kind of the way it is, because I think your rotations got to be a little bit tighter to really get a team where they feel comfortable with each other.
All right, last question, guys.
Coach, we see Rashawn out here today, Jeremy. How are those guys doing? And how's TD doing? We haven't heard about how TD is.
He's around now. He's been really good. You know, I mean, with his, it's just a time thing. You know, I mean, you can't rush it. You can't do anything about it. All the other guys have been great. I mean, I think we got a really good group of guys. You know, it's just really tough. I mean, losing is just not easy for anybody, and you can have the most high character guys that there is, but it's still a difficult thing to just deal with. You know, when you think you're a better team and should have a better record, it's very difficult to deal with. You know, the easiest thing when you're winning, everything seems to be okay, but you know, we've got a guy I think they'll stand together, and as I said, if we're good enough to some kind of way manufacture a 20-point lead, we got to find a way to maintain that play, that quality of play, so that we can finish the games.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.